Listen, let me tell you something real quick. If you want to change your life, you got to start with you. See, a lot of folks spend too much time worrying about what other people are doing, what they think, what they say. But let me ask you, what about you? Everything in this world operates on energy. It's not just a concept, it's a reality. The way you think, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, all of it sends out a signal. And here's the part that most people don't understand. Whatever signal you send out, life is going to respond with the same energy right back to you. Have you ever noticed how negative people always seem to have more problems? It's not a coincidence. They wake up complaining. They talk about what's wrong. They dwell on what's missing. And before they know it, life just keeps handing them more things to complain about. On the flip side, you see people who always seem to land on their feet, always getting new opportunities, always attracting the right kind of people. It's because their mindset and their energy are in alignment with what they want. They don't dwell on the negative. They focus on solutions. They believe good things are coming, and guess what? Good things show up. Your energy is like a magnet. If you're walking around doubting yourself, playing small, settling for less, then the world is just going to reflect that right back at you. But when you decide to carry yourself differently, when you start believing you deserve better, when you operate with confidence and purpose, things start shifting. It's not magic, it's alignment. Think about those moments when you're truly locked in, when you're feeling good about yourself, when you're moving with certainty. You ever notice how things just start working out? You get a call about an opportunity, you meet someone who helps you level up, you walk into a room and people pay attention. That's energy at work. You're putting out the right frequency and the universe is responding. On the other hand, when you're stuck in doubt, second guessing everything, feeling like nothing ever works out for you, it's like you keep running into walls. No matter how hard you try, it feels like something is always blocking you. That's because your energy is working against you. You're focused on what's missing instead of what's possible. You're spending time thinking about what could go wrong instead of believing things can go right. You have to become intentional with your energy. You have to wake up every day and decide that you're going to attract the right things. That means shifting your mindset, speaking differently, walking differently, even surrounding yourself with different people. You can't be in low energy environments and expect high energy results. If you're always around complainers, you're going to find more reasons to complain. If you're always around people who believe in possibilities, you're going to start seeing more opportunities. Everything around you is responding to the energy you put out. You want better relationships? Start showing up as the kind of person who deserves them. You want more success? Carry yourself like someone who is already successful. Stop waiting for life to change before you shift your energy. Shift your energy and life will change. People spend so much time chasing things, chasing people, chasing approval, chasing opportunities, thinking that the harder they run after it, the faster it'll come. But that's not how energy works. When you chase something, you're actually sending out the energy of lack, of desperation, of not having. And when you're operating from that energy, all you do is push things further away. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that when you stop running after someone who didn't appreciate you, all of a sudden they start paying attention? When you stop obsessing over an opportunity that didn't come through, another one, oftentimes even better, shows up? That's because attraction is more powerful than pursuit. The moment you start focusing on yourself, growing, becoming better, elevating your mindset, you naturally start attracting the right things. Most people have it backward. They think if they just chase hard enough, if they prove themselves enough, if they show how much they want something, then they'll finally get it. But the truth is, when you operate from a place of self-worth and confidence, things gravitate toward you instead. You don't have to beg for love when you know you deserve it. You don't have to force friendships when you're comfortable with who you are. You don't have to convince people to see your value when you walk like you already know your worth. You see it all the time in business. The ones who seem desperate for a deal, constantly pitching, constantly pushing, rarely get the big wins. But the ones who focus on their craft, who move with confidence, who carry themselves like they don't need to beg, those are the ones who attract partnerships, investors, and opportunities. The same principle applies to relationships, careers, and every aspect of life. When you operate from abundance, you create more abundance. When you move with certainty, life meets you at that level. Chasing drains you. It takes your energy, your peace, and your focus away from where it should be on yourself. When you're constantly running after something, you don't give yourself the chance to build, to grow, to become the person who naturally attracts those things. Instead of chasing love, work on loving yourself. Instead of chasing success, work on becoming excellent at what you do. Instead of chasing validation, know your worth so deeply that you don't need anyone to confirm it. The moment you shift from seeking to becoming, from chasing to attracting, everything changes. You stop trying to force things and they start flowing. You stop begging for seats at tables that weren't meant for you and start creating your own. You stop worrying about who isn't showing up for you and start focusing on showing up for yourself. That's when the right opportunities, the right people, and the right situations start coming your way, not because you ran after them, but because you became someone they naturally gravitate toward. A lot of people waste time and energy stressing over things they have absolutely no control over. They worry about what other people think, how someone else feels about them, whether someone likes them or not. They get caught up in situations that are completely outside of their power, allowing them to dictate their mood, their confidence, and their actions. The problem with that is the more you focus on what's out of your hands, the less power you have over your own life. There will always be things you can't control. You can't control how someone treats you, but you can control how you respond. You can't control whether an opportunity comes your way, but you can control how prepared you are when it does. You can't control what life throws at you, but you can control how you handle it. And that's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who keep moving forward. It's not about what happens to you, it's about what you choose to do with it. When you focus on things outside of your control, you give your energy away. You let outside forces dictate your happiness, your peace, and your direction. If someone doesn't text back, you start questioning your worth. If something doesn't go your way, you start doubting yourself. If people don't support you, you start wondering if you're even capable. That's how people get lost. They let things beyond their reach determine how they feel about themselves. Real power comes from shifting that focus back to yourself. Instead of worrying about whether people approve of you, focus on becoming the kind of person you're proud of. Instead of stressing over who stays or who leaves, focus on making sure you're solid with or without them. Instead of getting caught up in setbacks, focus on how you can keep pushing forward no matter what happens. The truth is, life is unpredictable. You will lose people. Some opportunities won't work out. There will be disappointments, failures, and unexpected challenges. But none of those things define you. What defines you is how you handle them. Do you fall apart every time something goes wrong, or do you stand firm and find a way through? Do you let rejection break your spirit, or do you use it as fuel to prove yourself? Do you complain about what's not working, or do you focus on what you can do to change your situation? People who succeed in life aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who learn how to keep going despite the struggle. They know that wasting energy on what they can't control is a losing game, so they put all their focus into what they can do, how they can grow, and where they can take action. The moment you stop giving your energy to things outside of your power and start directing it toward what you can actually change, you'll realize just how much control you really have over your own life. Everything in life comes down to what you choose to feed. Your energy is like a garden. Whatever you water is what's going to grow. If you keep feeding your doubts, your fears, and your insecurities, they will take over your mind, and before you know it, they will dictate your decisions, your actions, and ultimately your future. But if you make the conscious choice to feed your dreams, your confidence, and your belief in yourself, then that is what will grow and that is what will shape your reality. The problem most people have is that they give too much attention to the negative. They wake up thinking about what could go wrong. They hesitate to take a step forward because they're afraid of failure. They let their past mistakes define them, replaying old fears over and over in their minds until those fears become stronger than their faith. The more they dwell on the negative, the more it expands until it becomes all they see. And then they wonder why nothing in their life is changing. Your thoughts are powerful. The way you speak to yourself matters. Every time you tell yourself you can't do something, that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, you're planting seeds of doubt that will take root in your mind. And once they root it, they are hard to pull out. But the same is true for the positive. If you tell yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you have what it takes, then that belief starts to grow. And when that belief gets strong enough, nothing can stop you. A lot of people think success is about luck, about circumstances, about opportunities being handed to them. But the truth is, success is about mindset. It's about whether or not you believe you can do something. People who win don't win because they never fail. They win because they don't let failure define them. They don't dwell on the setbacks, the struggles, or the obstacles. They feed their dreams, not their doubts. They focus on what's possible instead of what's in their way. If you want to change your life, you have to start by changing what you feed. You can't keep watering fear and expect confidence to grow. You can't keep feeding doubt and expect success to show up. You have to be intentional about where your energy goes. That means catching yourself when negative thoughts creep in and replacing them with something better. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you instead of those who bring you down. It means making the choice every single day to focus on what you want instead of what you're afraid of. The difference between people who stay stuck and people who move forward is not talent, not resources, not luck. It's whether they let their fears take over or whether they push past them and keep going. Every day you have a choice. Feed your dreams or feed your doubts. The one you give the most energy to is the one that will grow. Life is going to test you. That's just the way it is. There's no way around it, no shortcut to avoid it. No matter how smart you are, how talented you are, how good of a person you are, challenges will come. You will face moments that make you question everything. You will deal with setbacks that feel unfair. You will have days where nothing seems to go right and you start wondering if you even have what it takes to keep going. But what separates people who make it from those who don't is how they handle those tests. Some people let life's challenges break them. The first sign of trouble, they start doubting themselves. A little rejection and they give up. One failure and they start thinking, maybe success isn't meant for them. They take every struggle personally like the world is out to get them. But the truth is, life isn't picking on anybody. Struggles don't come to stop you. They come to strengthen you. Every obstacle is a chance to build resilience. Every setback is an opportunity to learn something new. Every time something doesn't go your way, it's a test to see how bad you really want it. When life gets hard, you have two choices. You can either let it defeat you or you can push through. And pushing through doesn't mean you won't feel the pain, the frustration, or the disappointment. It just means you don't let those emotions stop you. You might get knocked down, but you get back up. You might get rejected, but you keep trying. You might fail, but you use that failure as fuel to come back stronger. Because that's what winners do. They don't let their struggles define them. They use them to grow. Every successful person you see today has been through something. They've been told no. They've been laughed at. They've lost money, lost friends, lost confidence at times. But the reason they are successful is because they didn't quit when it got tough. They pushed through when it would have been easier to give up. They kept going when nothing made sense. They believed in themselves when no one else did, and eventually their persistence paid off. A lot of people think life is supposed to be easy, that if something is meant for them, it'll just fall into place without resistance. But that's not how it works. The greater the goal, the greater the test. The bigger the dream, the harder the climb. And the only way to make it to the top is to keep moving, no matter how difficult the journey gets. The moment things start getting tough, that's not the time to back down. That's the time to push even harder. That's the moment that separates those who only talk about success from those who actually achieve it. Because when you refuse to quit, when you keep pushing despite the odds, that's when life finally starts to open up for you. Moving with purpose changes everything. When you know where you're going and why, you stop wasting time on things that don't serve you. You stop entertaining distractions, meaningless conversations, and people who drain your energy. You stop second-guessing yourself, waiting for approval or looking for permission. You start walking like you belong in every room you step into. You start carrying yourself like you are already the person you're working to become. Most people go through life just drifting. They wake up with no real plan, no clear vision, just reacting to whatever comes their way. They let circumstances dictate their mood, let other people's opinions shape their decisions, and let fear keep them in the same place year after year. But when you move with purpose, you take control. You decide what matters. You choose where your energy goes. You stop living on accident and start living on purpose. Having purpose means you're intentional about everything you do. You don't waste time complaining because you're too busy making things happen. You don't entertain negativity because you understand how valuable your energy is. You don't chase people who don't see your worth because you know exactly what you bring to the table. You don't let failure define you because you're too focused on the bigger picture. You walk with confidence, knowing that every step you take is leading you closer to where you're meant to be. When you move with purpose, people can feel it. They can see it in the way you talk, the way you work, the way you carry yourself. You don't have to announce it. Your energy speaks for itself. Opportunities start coming your way because you are aligned with your goals. The right people start showing up because they recognize your vision. Doors that once seemed closed suddenly start opening because you are moving with clarity and direction. Distractions lose their power when you have a strong sense of purpose. The things that used to bother you don't affect you the same way because you realize they don't matter in the bigger scheme of things. You stop wasting time proving yourself to people who were never meant to understand your journey. You stop worrying about temporary setbacks because you know they don't define your